Yes, 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 yes. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's call. Invite everybody. Yes, 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 yes. I'm super duper excited. I rarely get excited, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you tap on the link. Make sure you tap on the link. Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome, 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 welcome. Make sure you tap on the link. Invite somebody tonight. Invite, this is gonna be a game changer. This is gonna be a super game changer tonight. Hey, miss at your own risk. I want to warn you. Miss at your own risk. I want to warn you. Miss at your own risk. I want to warn you. Miss at your own risk. I want to warn you. Miss at your own risk. I want to warn you. Money to the head, money to the toe, money everywhere. Hey. Why have I overdelayed? Why have I been delaying? Why have I been having a limited mindset? Why have I been having a limited mindset? Why have I been having conclusions that are, why? I'm asking myself so many questions. Let me tell you. Money to the head, money to the soul. Money everywhere, money business. Money to the whole, money. Let me tell you. I don't understand what I'm doing. But 2 days ago, I made a decision to get into these things called the futures. And for the whole of my life, I was scared. How many of you are scared like me? And I found my Kabudu strategy. How many of you are scared? Are scared like me? I was scared. But look here. Today I've made $53. But look, I used $20. Money today, money to the soul, money. Futures. Money today, money to the soul. Money today, money to the soul. Money to the bosom, money to the good. Money to the mother, money to the good. Now I'm sure I'm gonna be a billionaire. Money to the head, money to the soul. Money to the bosom, money to the head. Money. So if you have not yet shared this link, I don't understand you. Why have I been skeptical? Why have I been negative? Why have I been skeptical for all these years? Hey. Money to the head, money to the soul. Money. If I was single, I would marry. Immediately. If you are here and you had a dream to drive a car, after this call, very early in the morning, go to the bond and touch the car. Okay? If you are here and you had a dream, I don't know. Can you type for me some of your dreams in the chat? Can you type for me some of your dreams in the chat? Can you type for me some of your... Now it's no longer even about capital. Whether you have $20, whether you have 10, whether you have 50, whether you have 100, whether you have 500, it doesn't matter. Let me see. Type for me the dream, something you said that if I make this, God, even if you take me. Esther said my house. Christina said the car. Julia said an iPhone. Now, Esther, go and measure the land. From here, go to the hardware. A plot of land, a car, a house for my mom. Please go and look at the nearby. I want a Nissan GTR. You want to die? I want to buy an aeroplane, a house, a Ford Ranger, buying a Range Rover and building a posh house, building a mansion. I want to make money and help people on the street. I need a Benz. I want to be the Elon Musk of Uganda. Some of your dreams are not smart. They are not realistic. How can you want to be the Elon Musk of Uganda? I want to make my mama proud. Okay. Now make sure your goals are specific. Make sure your goals are specific. Make sure your goals are specific. Make sure your goals are quantitative. How much money do you need to achieve that goal? Let me see some quantitative goals. Because tonight, after this call, everything is going to be different. I want to buy my house. Yes, make your goal quantitative. I need 500 million for this. You need to make sure that you are crystal clear. If you need money. You see, I had a dream to make my first $10,000. And I had a goal to achieve. Hey, now I'm not a motivational speaker. I need more than $1 million. Hey, I want $1 million. Hey, I need $1 million. I want to own a huge land in the countryside, build a country home, and retire from a 9-to-5. I need $2 million. I need to make a hardware. Now we have started. I need to build golf. Huh? You want to build the golf? Some of your goals are not realistic. I don't want to delay, but I have tested. Can everybody type in the chat tested? Can everybody in the chat type tested? Because now, you see me, I'm not a lying person. I have tested. Could someone type tested in the chat? And I want to show you, because when the teacher speaks, I want you to pay close attention. Can you type tested in the chat? Can you type tested in the chat? I have tested. I have tested. I have tested. Let me share. Ladies and gentlemen, is this bad? Is this a bad test? $53. $53. $53. Is it a bad test? Let me know in the chat. Is it a bad test? Let me know in the chat. $53. I decided to test. $53 from $20. Is it a bad test? $53 from $20. Is it a bad test? Tell me in the chat. $53 from $20. Is it a bad test? Answer me. Money to the head, money to the soul. Money to the money to the soul. Money to the money to the money. I'm even scared. I'm even scared. Let me first make the teacher the co-host before he starts. Now, I tested. And I know the teacher is going to show you, but this is what I did. Let me show you. I came here and I looked at this pumping coin. Like now, LPT is pumping. Is that true that LPT is pumping? Is it true that LPT is pumping? Let me know in the chat. Is it true that LPT is pumping? Let me know in the chat. Is it true that LPT is pumping? Let me know in the chat. On the spot, even if you come on the futures, it is here. Is it true that LPT and TRB are pumping? Let me know in the chat. Is it true? Let me know in the chat. Is it true? Is it true? Question. Will it come down? Will it come down? Let me know in the chat. If it is pumping, will it come down? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. If it is pumping, will it come down? Simple logic. Will it come down? Now me, I sit in the corner. I allow the people to enjoy. I sit in the corner. Like you see, I sit in the corner and I target it when it is coming down. Hey! But I want to involve in the teacher. I target it when it is down. I'm waiting. When this coin will be coming down, I get in. So as it is coming down, I'm collecting money. I'm collecting money. I'm collecting money. For me, I am not a thinker. Let it go to heaven. Let it continue. But when it starts coming down, let me collect money. Is that a bad strategy? Let me know in the chat. Is that a bad strategy? Well, every coin that is pumping, me, I sit in the corner and I wait. I wait. When it starts going down, me, I collect money. I milk money. I milk money. I milk money. I milk money. And I sleep comfortably. So before I will share my strategy, I know people who are hearing futures and scared for the first time. I want you to understand these things. Our teacher, are you ready? Our teacher, are you ready? Let me know. Did I give a wrong person the co-host? Why do some of you have the names similar to the teacher? My brother Emmanuel, are you on the call?
All right, so I'm ready. I'm on the call.
Yes, okay. Welcome. Start and take over.
All right, thank you. So, good evening, guys. I'm very happy and I'm very enthusiastic for this opportunity, and I think you guys are ready for us to learn this evening. Okay, so we already have the clue, and we are going to improve on whatever we've been discussing so far about the futures trading. And I guess you are already prepared for this session or this lesson. All right, so without wasting my time, let me share my screen so that we proceed. Okay, let me use the whiteboard. All right, so my screen is visible, right? Can you see my screen? Okay. Okay, so that is good. Okay. All right, so this evening, just like we've been doing, we're going to focus on understand the futures markets, how the futures market works, and then the strategies that we have to involve or inculcate in operating in the futures market for us to get the necessary results. You know, one thing is that you always need to understand what you are doing so that you can put in more effort. And that is the reason why we have to take more time, learn more about the futures market and understand. You get it? And the more you understand what you are doing, the more you can put in more effort. And the more you put in the effort, the more results you can do, what you can get. You get it? Right. So, oh, who is writing on my screen? Oh, wait. Oh, let me use my shared screen instead. All right, so now my screen is visible. Let's go. Let me get my board. Okay, so all right. So now futures trading. We are going to simplify this lesson. It's going to be very brief and short. We'll talk about futures trading. What is futures trading? And how can you trade on on a futures market to generate the necessary results as a trader? Yes, one of the simplest trading in the crypto market is futures trading. Just as the spot trading is also simple, that's how the futures market is also simple. When we talk about the futures trading, we say the futures market is a market based on contracts, and traders go in with any amount of money to generate an amount of results depending on what we call leverage. So this evening, I'll take time to define some terms in the crypto market or in the futures markets so that you can be familiar with them, right? And then also how you can implement other strategies to generate the necessary results. So We said with the futures market, the trader needs to understand what you call leverage. And to simply put a leverage, you said the leverage is a multiple or give the trader the power to raise capital to trade. So you may see things like 1x, 2x, 20x in the futures market. Now, what does this leverage mean? This simply means that any amount of money that you have, you are raising power of this money. So if you have $10 that you are using to trade, when you take a leverage of 5x, when you go for a leverage of 5x, it simply means that the trader is expecting to use an amount of 10 times 5, which is going to give him 50. So it simply means the trader is going in with an amount of what? $50 as his leverage amount. That is what it means. So mostly when it comes to trading on the futures market, you have to be familiar with the term leverage and how the leverage is being applied in the futures market. Right? So now what are the terms and conditions applied in using the leverage? It's very simple. We said when a trader wants to be more profitable, you need to understand the concept of the leverage. Now, the leverage can make you very well, and it can also make you, and that's the reason you need to understand this concept with positivity, right? So, on this aspect, when a trader goes for a higher leverage, the purpose of a higher leverage is to first boost your income. Hmm? It boosts your capital, so it raises or gives you power. So in this case, when a trader goes for a higher leverage, you are increasing your capital. At the same time, when you go for a higher leverage, you are also increasing your risk. So high leverage equals high risk. That is the idea. So we've advised that if you want to make profits in the futures market, especially using Royalq, it's advisable for you to at least go for a leverage of 2x to 5x or 10x. So 5x at least is at most is okay for you to make your profit in the market. So that is the meaning of what of leverage. The next thing too that you are going to see in the futures market has to do with what? With margin. You see what for margin. And in trade, when we talk of margin, margin is the representative of your capital. That is your original amount of money in the market is your margin amount. So let's assume the trader goes in the market with some amount of money. Okay, the trader goes in the market with let's say $10 with a leverage of 5x. It simply means he's going to have what we call margin amount of $10. So the $10 become your margin amount, and then the $50 become your position size. Are you following? So now you begin to get realize that you have your position size and your margin amount. What is the difference between your position size and your margin amount? What is the difference or what's the relationship between your position size and your margin amount? Now, let's proceed. So when we talk of the position size is the multiple of your leverage. So like I said, if you have 5x with an amount of $10, you are going to get $50. So the $50 becomes your position size, and then the $10 becomes your margin amount. It's simple as that. The $50 becomes your position size, and then the $10 becomes your margin, right? Are you following? Are you following? Are you following? All right. Or who is saying no? You are not following. I guess you need to follow this session very well. Hmm? All right. So if you're not following, follow, okay? So that we can grab the concepts together. If you're not following, then follow. All right. Let's proceed. Let's proceed. Now, I said we are defining the term. I'm simplifying this term for you to understand them well, for you to be familiar with them, whilst you embark your journey on the futures trading, on the futures market, right? So you see what we call margin amount or margin, and then also position size. Now, the relationship between the margin amount and the position size is very simple. We said the original money that you have is your margin amount, and then your position size is a multiple of your leverage. So let's assume you go into the market with 5x with a capital of $10. It simply means your position size is what? Is 50, which is 5x, 5 times 10, which is going to give you 50. So $50 becomes your position size, and then $10 becomes your margin amount. Right? Very good. Now we can proceed. Now we can proceed. So you are familiar with your position size and then also your margin amount. So the higher your position size, that is, you've increased your leverage. So if you increase your leverage, your position size is also going to be what? Going to be increased. And at the same time, if you decrease your leverage, your position size is also going to be what? Going to be decreased. That is the idea. Now, the next thing that you have to be familiar with is what we call leverage. Sorry, liquidation. Liquidation price, liquidation, and then liquidation price. So I'm going to simplify these two terms for you. We have liquidation and then liquidation price. These are the two terms that you need to be familiar with in the futures market: liquidation and then liquidation price. Now, when we talk of liquidation, what is liquidation? What is liquidation? Liquidation simply means, when we talk of liquidation in the futures market, it's very simple. As you go into the market with this position size equal to your margin amount, you are expected to win in the market, or the market goes against you in two things. So either you are going on long or on a short position, right? Now, as you are expected to win this market, when the market goes against you, ex- exclusively, when the market goes against you excessively, you are going to hit what we call liquidation, right? And another thing too is that before liquidation would happen in the market, there is what we call liquidation price. So anytime you set up a trade in the futures market, anytime you set up a trade in the futures market, you experience this common thing in the market, or you observe this common thing in the market called liquidation price. Liquidation price. Now you see this in your futures trade, both on Royalq and then on Binance. You are going to see it. Liquidation price. So when we talk of the liquidation price, this is the target price at which your trade will be triggered for loss should it happen the market goes against you. And this is what makes me so confident in the futures market, that always I know how the market works. And once I see my liquidation price, you are okay to go in the market, right? So when we talk of the liquidation price, let's assume you have an asset to trade in the market. Let's say your entry amount or your average price happens to be 180. Now, since let's assume I'm going on long in the futures market, so it simply means should this asset rise from 180 to 185, assuming I'll be able to make what? Make profits. If the market drops, the market is going against me, right? Now, let's assume this is my liquidation price, $80. This is my liquidation price. This simply means that until the market drops to $80, I'm not going to be liquidated. Until the market drops to $80, I still stand straight in the market. That is the meaning of liquidation price. So this is the price at which your trade is expected to be triggered for loss should the market drops extensively against you. Are you following? Are you following? Are you following? Oh, okay. Wow. Am I running too fast? Am I running too fast? Okay, so I'm gonna say I'm running too fast. Am I running too fast? Am I running too fast? Okay, then I have to slow down for you. I have to slow down. I have to slow down. Yes, so I have to slow down for you. Let me slow down. I just don't want to rush this lesson. I have to slow down so that you can understand because you are the reason why I'm here this evening. Mm. All right. Let's proceed. Let's proceed. Now, what we are saying is simple. What we are saying is simple. And these are the common terms you need to understand them in the futures. Right. Now, you've understood what we call leverage. Mm? You've understood what we call leverage, then position size, and then also margin. The next thing that I'm discussing with you is what you call liquidation, liquidation, and then liquidation price. There are two things. Liquidation and then liquidation price. There are two things. Now, we said to venture or to enter into the futures market, you expect two things: to either long a market or short a market. Okay, to either long a market or long an asset or short an asset. And over here, we are going to focus on directly taking advantage of shorting the market. And I will explain why. I will explain why to you. But I'm just trying to use this opportunity to define this term for you to get it clear. Now, we said when we talk of liquidation, this simply means that as the trader expects to short the market or long the market, there is a condition where he has to be met in the market. Either the price is going to rise against you or drop more for you to hit your target. Now, in as much as you are expecting the price to control the price with your target, let's assume you have an asset set at 180. You are on long position. Let me use long position. You are on long position. This simply means once you are on long on an asset with an entry price of 180, it simply means you are expecting the price to rise from 180 to a certain figure, which is going to be your targeted profit or your take profit. Now, the assets could drop in value. So once you set up the trade on the futures market, you will see what you call liquidation price. Let's assume that is $180. $80. Now listen, this is what makes Royalq to be so exceptional from trading on manual markets. So over here, you are going to observe your liquidation price in the market. So on Royalq, you are going to see your liquidation price both on Royalq and then on your exchange. So this simply means that you are going to be aware of what is going to happen in the market. If this market is going to drop extensively, it's going to drop to $80 before you will be liquidated. That is what it means for you to be liquidated. Let's assume this is Solana. This is Solana. Let's assume this is Solana. That is a price of $180. So for you to be liquidated, for you to get to your liquidated target, it simply means Solana is supposed to drop from 180 to $80. That is, the market should be a very bad market. You understand? Which is not going to happen. So as you see your liquidation price, you know this is the angle at which anything can be triggered out. You can be triggered out of the market at this point, which is the $80. That is the mean of the liquidation price. So we said when we talk of liquidation price, that is the targeted price at which a trade is expected to be triggered for loss. Right? The targeted price at which a trade is expected to be triggered for loss. So that is what you need to get it clear. Now let's proceed. Hope you get this clear now. If that's clear, is it clear now? Is it clear now? Is it clear now? Very good. Very good. Very good. All right, let's proceed. Let's proceed. All right. Now, in the futures market, there are two things that we are expected in the futures market. And this is where I'm going to focus on the discussion this evening. There are two things that every trader is expected to know or go in the futures market. Now, in the futures market, your responsibility is to search for possible opportunities where you can long the market or short the market. Your responsibility is to search for possible opportunities where you can long the market or short the market. Now, when we say longing the market, what does it mean? Before I'll proceed to how you can get such opportunities. When we say longing the market, what does it mean? When we say someone is longing the market, it simply means that the trader is predicting the price of the asset to rise. The trader is predicting the price of the asset to rise. And when we say someone is shorting the market, it simply means the trader is predicting the price of the assets to drop. This is what it means. It's not anything difficult. It's not anything difficult. It's not anything difficult. We said when we are to long the market, when we say someone is longing the market, it simply means the trader is predicting the price of the assets to drop. Sorry, to rise. And then when someone is shorting the market, it simply means the trader is expecting the price of the assets to drop. And these are possible opportunities in the market every day. Now, there are three things that mainly happens in every market. There are three things that mainly happens in every market. And this is where we can size our opportunities. This is where we can size our opportunities in the market. Now, the market either goes on three trends. On these three trends, we have an uptrend, downtrend market, and then also ranging market, which is sideways. Okay, ranging market, which is sideways market or sideways, anyhow you choose to call it, either ranging or sideways. Now, when you want to trade on a futures market, these are three simple rules that you have to follow. And once you follow these three rules, you are going to simplify your trading techniques in the market and you are going to find yourself making profits, the necessary profit you have to do, what you have to make in the market. So when it comes to trading on the futures market, this is the things you need to know, the three rules that you need to know. The first one is you need to know the trend of the market. For you to enter into the market, you need to know the trend of the market. That is the first thing you need to consider, the trend of the market. And over here, we are going to focus on one particular trend. When I say focusing on one particular trend, ideally on the spot market, we expect the price of the asset to rise so that we can generate profit. Right? We expect the price of the asset to rise so that we can generate profit. So over here, we are going to focus on how the asset is going to drop so that we can earn profit or generate profits on how fast the asset is going to drop to. So you're not only going to wait for the asset to rise before you make profits, but while the asset also drops in value, you can be able to do it, make profits. So the first thing that you need to consider in the market before you even think of joining the market is what? Is the trend of the market. Is the market on an uptrend or downtrend? That is the first thing. Is the market on an uptrend or downtrend? So when the market is bullish, you know what to do. When the market is bearish, you know what to do. So we said on an uptrend market, what do? You can give me answer in the chat. On an uptrend market, what do you do? 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 Very good. Very good. Very good. So over here, our responsibility is to focus on sizing possible opportunities in the market. Our responsibility is to focus on sizing possible opportunities in the market. Now, when the market is on downtrend, what do you do? When the market is on downtrend, what do you do? Give me an answer in the chat. When the market is on downtrend, what do you do? When the market is on downtrend, what do you do? When the market is on downtrend, what do you do? When the market is on downtrend, what do you do? Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. So these are simple rules in the futures market. So that is the first rule. The first rule is you consider the what? The trend of the market. The first rule is to consider the trend of the market when you are trading on the futures market. You consider the trend of the market, and you don't trade against trend of a market. Hmm? So your responsibility is to focus on the trend of the market, and over here we are going to focus on how we can short the assets or the market. We are going to focus on shorting the market. Why are you going to focus on shorting the market? Because most of the assets takes probability in dropping as compared to taking probability in rising. Most asset takes probability in dropping as compared to taking probability in rising. Most assets takes probability in dropping as compared to taking probability in rising. This means if you can focus on assets that can give you more downtrend momentum, you'll be able to generate consistent profits here. You will be able to do what? Generate consistent profits here. So our responsibility here is to focus on how we can be shorting the asset consistent. Right? So let's assume as a trader on the spot market, you set up a trade or you open up a trade, and the trade keeps dumping consistent. It keeps dropping in value. Over here, this is a possible opportunity for you to short the assets whilst you are still in the dip. So your responsibility here is to focus on how you can size possible opportunities on shorting these assets in the market. Do you understand? Are you following? If you are following, give me one in the chat. Are you following? If you are following, give me one in the chat. If you are following, give me one in the chat. If you are following, give me one in the chat. If you are following, give me one in the chat. So over here, if you are following, give me one in the chat first. Give me one in the chat. Very good. Very good. Very good. I like the way you are following the lesson. Like the way you are following the lesson. Very good. Very good. Let's proceed. Let's proceed. Let's proceed. So as you wake up, your responsibility is to look for possible opportunities where you can short the market. Now, so we said 3 rules. The next thing that we are going to talk about, or the next thing that you need to know, you also consider focusing on the market. Now you know the trend. You have to consider the trend of the market. The next one is the what? Is the volume. Is the volume. The next one is the volume. So I think for those of you that have been joining the fundamental analysis class, mostly the Julius has been leading that session. The volume of an asset also indicates or tells a lot about the trend of the market. So is the coin active or not? That is what you need to know. So you also consider the volume. So following these 3 simple rules, at least considering the trend, the volume, the trend, and then the volume of the asset can communicate to you, the trader, for you to make an informed decision in the market. Can communicate to you, the trader, for you to make an informed decision in the market. And then the last one that I'll talk about before I proceed to the next thing is what is the structure of the market. When I say the structure of the market, either there's going to be a breakout or a breakdown. And this also gives the trader a signal or possible opportunity for him to either make a decision on either shorting the market or longing the market. Right? So when you want to simplify your trading, or when you want to simplify profit on the futures market, now I'm going to take the only the trend of the market for us to talk more about that this evening. So we said over here we are going to focus on how you short the assets. So how then do we get an asset to short in the market? How then do we get an asset to short in the market? Now, you've learned this thing here, and that is what we are going to throw more light on. So as a futures trader, you wake up, you want to search an opportunity to trade in the what in the futures market. The first thing that you need to consider is the trend. Which trend of the market should I follow? Either I'm going to follow on an uptrend or a downtrend. So since I'm going to short the asset, now we said the first thing, consider the trend. So the first rule is to consider the trend of the market. That is the first rule, the trend of the market. The second rule is to consider the volume of the assets. And then the third rule is the structure. So when we talk of the structure, over here I'm only focusing on either there is a breakdown or a breakout. Either a breakdown or a breakout. These are the only thing that we are only focusing. And there are more to that. Maybe in another session we'll discuss more on that. So these are the three rules: the trend of the market, the volume, and then the structure of the market. These are the three rules that you need to know. You need to apply and then make an informed decision in the futures market. So you can either choose any of these aspects to work on them to generate your profits in the market. Is that clear? You can either choose just one of them to make an informed decision in the market. So we are only going to talk about what the trend. So over here, the trend, we said we need an asset that we can short. So let's go. How do we do that? You have the idea. We are going to use ChatGTP for this. Are you following? Good. So you've gotten the rule right. Very good. Very good. So now, since we are only focusing on the trend of the market, let's go to ChatGTP. Let's go to ChatGTP. We are going to ask ChatGTP a simple question. A simple question. We need just to follow one trend of the market. Okay. We want to follow just one trend of the market. So let's go to ChatGTP. Let's go. So on ChatGTP, where is it? Okay. So let's go. All right. So now let's type what we want to share with ChatGPT for us to get the right answer here. Okay. All right. So
My reader, you have a lot of feedback from your background. Where you are, I don't know if you could change location. The person where you are is talking so much. He needs to reduce the voice. Yeah, where our presenter is, it is very noisy. But how many of you are now following? How many of you are following? At least you are now able to know a few things you need to consider before you are making an entry. Me, I don't know how I was missing this free money. You find that as we are into the crypto market space, 90% of these coins, they are always going down. How many of you agree with me? 90% of these coins, they are going down. They are never going up all the time. 90%. And if you master this art, you can collect money. Me, I was even wondering why I was suffering for all these years. You collect money, you even forget your name. Someone a few minutes ago called me Julius Kavanda, and I didn't hear. When he called me Mr. Dollar, I woke up. He called me Mr. Dollar, Mr. Dollar. I was like, my name, my name, my name, my name, my name, my name, my name. Hey. I hope our presenter is back. Yeah, Mr. Dollar, my name, my name. The other time you call me, I go silent a little bit. But now, Mr. Dollar, my name, my name, my name. And I was very tough. Most of these coins, they are going down. Let's milk them until they get understanding. Welcome back, sir.
All right, thank you. It seems the network. So let's proceed. All right, guys. Sorry for that. Can proceed now. Okay, so let's quickly go to ChatGTP. Let's ask ChatGTP simple questions. Okay, let me see. All right. So now I hope you remember. You remember this, right? Now let me paste this here. So we are going to edit this. So imagine you are a professional crypto trader using Royalq as your main trading bot and Binance as your crypto exchanger platform. You connect your Royalq software to Binance. So now let's go. So what you're going to ask is that your spot develops your unique market strategy to find high volatile coins to trade on the futures market. Okay, so we need good coins to trade on the futures market, shorten the market. So we are only focusing on shorting the market. So let's add up. So to find high volatile coins to trade. So yeah, on the spots. Okay, so find high volatile coins to trade on future markets. Specifically, shorten the market. Okay, so over here we are so specific. We want an asset that we can do what we can short. So let's proceed. So creating feature shorten strategy, guiding develop content for no. So now I guess I can short on the futures markets. Futures markets using Royalq. So I just need an asset that I can short on the futures market using Royalq. All right, so let's proceed. Let's see. Okay, so great. So since you are looking for shorting opportunity in the crypto futures markets using Royalq, the goal is to find highly volatile assets showing bearish confirmation. Very good. So across your analysis stack, technical, fundamental, and then potentially on chain. So since Royalq trades on both signals, okay. So now let's see. Uh, let's see. So current recommendation for shorting as of June 4th June. So asset to short. So Audi USDT, ordinals. So let's look at it. This asset. So it's giving us we can short Audi now, right? So Audi has recently broken below the key support around $37. That is RSI is over extended and then just flip from bearish divergence, right? So at least looking at this, giving us the sentimental analysis behind that, you can see that crypto Twitter is over bullish on meme related BTC ecosystem tokens like Audi. So that's the sentiments over leverage on long. So it simply means a lot of people have short have long the asset which is leading to what? To an oversold zone, right? So that is Audi. And then once again, let's see if there is any other coin. So backup assets watching to shorts. So we have Pepe, Manta, and then TIA. So at least over here you've been able to get four assets. Giving you the first one is what? The first one is Audi. You are getting this asset that you can do it, you can short here. So you see, our main purpose here is to focus on getting the trend. So far as you are focused on the trend of the asset, you just need one trend. If it is uptrend, then you are talking about longing the market. If it is downtrend, you are talking about shorting the market. So you just need to be specific here. You just need an asset to short. Are you following? If you understand, give me one in the chat. If you understand what we are saying, give me one in the chat. If you understand what you are saying, give me one in the chat. If you understand, give me one in the chat. If you understand, give me one in the chat. If you understand, give me one in the chat. So you see, there is nothing wrong to be feared here. There is nothing to be feared here. And features say, and I'm afraid, and I'm afraid, and I'm afraid I'll be liquidated. Look, there is nothing wrong to be feared here. You're not supposed to be afraid of anything here. Hmm? What are you afraid of? Huh? What are you afraid of? Hmm? So this is just simple thing that you can do here to embrace profits, right? You want to maximize your profits. And this is a kind strategy, is the best way you can go by that to make your profit and go your way. Hmm? So over here, you have been given the opportunity. ChatGTP has given you at least four assets. Let me see, where is it? Four different assets that you can do it. You can flip to make profit on. So Pepe is here, Manta is here, TIA is here. Then the first one that is gave was Audi. So RDI, you can also make profit on Audi by shorting it. Now, let me tell you one secret here about the futures trading, especially when it comes to shorting them. You know what? The tendency of the market to drop is very fast as compared to the tendency of the market to rise. This is the secret. That is the reason why when you focus on shorting the assets, look, when you focus on shorting, your probability of making profits is very high as compared to the focusing on longing the market. Look, just imagine and observe this market. How fast does the markets rise as compared to how fast does it drop? Comparing the fastest movement at which it rise and then drop. Between rising and then dropping the market, which of this trend goes very fast? Which of these parts of the market goes very fast? Between an uptrend and a downtrend of part of the market, which of these parts of the market moves very fast? Between rising and then dropping of an asset. Either you choose to call it uptrend or downtrend. Which of these move very fast? Very good. Very good. I'm not sharing my screen. Hmm? Very good. You see, so when you get this concept very clear, look, sometimes I don't know why, but you don't need to stress yourself. There's certain rules are very simple, and once you understand them, you feel so relaxed to be a good trader. Eh? Once you understand certain principles in the market, you feel so relaxed to be a good trader. Hmm? You feel so relaxed to be a good trader. So you know the clue in the market that the probability for me to short the asset, the market can easily drop as compared to rising. Do you understand? So this is just a simple clue in the market. This is just what a simple clue in the market. So in order not to stress yourself, wait for anyone, you've understood all the necessary, the basic concepts in the market. Now you want to trade. So just come here, come to ChatGPT, right? Let me clear this off first. Just come to ChatGPT first. So where is it? Come here. Mm, okay. So let's fix this here. Now let me edit it nicely. So what you are saying is simple. You have been profitable in your trading journey for now for the past 3 years in a row. You have a deep, extensive, and then knowledge about crypto markets analysis. That is both fundamental and then technical and sentimental on chain analysis over the years. You unspotted develop your unique market strategy to find highly volatile coins to trade on the futures market, specifically shorten shorten the assets or the market. So you are specific. You want to short the assets. You are specific here. You want to do what? You want to short the assets. So let me copy it. Mhm. So let me paste it for you. So what's your priority? Or there is specific aspects you want to delve into? Yes. So I want assets that I can short on the futures markets using Royalq. Using Royalq. So what's your priority here? So you have to be specific here. So yes, I want assets that I can short on futures market using Royalq. So let's go. So let's see. So example, asset to watch as of recent market condition. Here are some typical volatile coins that often present shorting opportunities in bearish condition. So Solana, step, let me see the volatility. So considering the volatility indicator, that is average through index and then on 1 hour and then also 4 hour time frame. So let's go back. So Matic, Dutch, and then also SHIB USDT. So at least you are getting, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So note, first, always cross check your signal before entering shots. Fine, that is not a problem. So okay, good. Right? So at least you've got 4 assets here that or 5 assets here that you can do what you can trade. So if not for anything, one of these assets, you can just focus on just 1 or 2 of these assets. By the end of the day, you generate your profits. Is this difficult? 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 If it's difficult, tell me it's difficult. Is this difficult? I need your answer in the chat box. Is this difficult? Hmm? Is this difficult? Very simple, no. Is this difficult? Hmm? Hmm. Is this difficult? You see, if you see this also to be difficult, then I don't know. Either maybe you don't want to make money. Hmm? I don't know. If you see this to be difficult, Mm. So I want to know negotiating in Binance to get the permission. I don't get what you're asking. Eh? So now I've copied everything. This is it. Hmm? I've, so I'm pasting it here. Okay. I've pasted everything here. So just copy this. Just copy this. Hmm? Just copy this. Or better still, copy this one. Let me get you another one here. So now let's go back. Let me refresh it. So let's go to ChatGPT. Where is it? Okay. Okay. So let me see. Paste it again. So um, points to trade on the futures market, specifically shorten the market. So you just be specific, shorten the market. I need 5 assets that I can short to make profits. Mm. So over here we are specific on the number of assets that we need. So let's go. Okay, something like, let's see. All right. Okay, so this the first one is Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, BNB, Cardano. So it gives us three. And then the reason behind it. So Cardano tends to have period of hype followed by significant sell-off. It also faces competition from Ethereum and other smart contract platforms. That's fine. So these assets are often volatile and influenced by a variety of factors such as technicals, market sentiment, and fundamental updates. By carefully monitoring these assets and employing a risk-managed short strategy, you can maximize profits in the crypto futures markets. So you see, you can maximize profits in the crypto futures market, hmm, using this short strategy. So at the end of the day, your responsibility is to focus on how you can maximize profits here. Hmm? How you can maximize profits here, right? Good. Now, someone is asking, this is ChatGTP. This is Chat. Look, let me tell you something about ChatGTP. Let me tell you something about ChatGTP. ChatGTP is the type. If you ask if you ask ChatGPT any question, any unnecessary question, it will provide unnecessary answers for you. If you ask unnecessary question, it will also provide unnecessary answers for you. So you always need to be specific and ask questions according to what you know. That is the reason why this information is here. Just copy and paste so that you can get clarity question to ask for you to get clarity what answer. So you see, our focus here, like I said, based on the three rules that we are applying, over here we are only focusing on just short on how we can short the market. Hmm? So following on a trend that is the downtrend. So we are only focusing on the downtrend, and on the downtrend, it gives us an impression or information that we can short the assets. So once you short the assets, you are free to go. And like I've made you understood, and you've understood now that most importantly, most often the markets follows an downtrend as compared to the uptrend direction of the market, right? And you can bear witness of that. You can bear witness of what? Of that. So just do what is right. Just do what to make you secured in the market. Just make you what to ensure that at least you'll be maximizing profit in the what? In the market. That is all. Right. Now, let me give you the opportunity to ask a question if you have any question to ask. So can you paste your chat GTP on the group page for us to, so please it's here. So I've pasted everything here already. So just copy it. You can copy it. Just copy it. All right. Now, if you have any question, let me give you the opportunity to ask your question. Very good. So if you have any question, please, is there any strategy setting we need to apply? All right. So this evening, our lesson was only emphasized on understanding the futures market, some terms that you need to know, and how you can maximize profits. Okay. So our next session, we are going to focus on how to set up a trade. And I think if God permits, you have to join the next session that Leader Julius will be handling. We'll be talking about how to maximize profits on the futures market, specifically using MACD. Mm? So you have to be present there. So how to set up a trade in Royalq. So this evening we did not discuss on setting up a trade. We only talk about the knowledge on the futures markets. So can I cancel any running contracts? So the answer is no. Once you cancel, that is all. So just like you closing the trade. So you can't cancel, unlike the spot market, and even I think it's the same. You can't cancel a trade. If you are canceling, it simply means you are closing it. Do you get it? If you cancel, it simply means you are closing the trade. That is it. If you are canceling, it simply means you are closing a trade. If you have any question, feel free to ask. If you have any question, you can feel free to ask. So on our next session, we'll discuss on how to set up a trade on the futures market. On our next session, we'll discuss on how to set up a trade on the futures, right? We'll discuss on how to set up a trade on the futures market. So we've been taking it one after the other. So if you have any question, you can feel free to ask. If you have any question, you can feel free to ask before I bring this session to an end. If you have any question, you can feel free to ask. Mm. If you have any question, you can feel free to ask. So this evening's lesson is very simple and brief. And I guess you've been able to learn something this evening. So you don't need to be afraid of the futures markets. And it's very simple. So what is being liquidated? Okay. When I get liquidated, is it okay? So let me take the questions one after the other. So is it one of my margin calls or the whole amount? All right. So now, before one can be liquidated in the futures market, okay. So first think of this. Before one can be liquidated in the futures market, it simply means it has gotten to the worst part of the market where your capital has been equal to, or your leverage has been equal to your margin amounts. So it simply means everything has been, should I use the word fortified, or everything has been taken out. So before you be liquidated in the futures market, it simply means all your money has already been eaten up in the market. This simply means when you are being liquidated, it's not part of your margin calls, but the total money that you are using as your margin amount. So, like I explained earlier, if you are using $10, if you are using $100 to trade, before you be liquidated, it simply means all these $100 has been taken out in the market before it's happened that you have to do what to be liquidated. So this simply means that it's not going to be part of your margin, but all the margin. I don't know if you get it. You understand? Hope you get it. So Someone is asking the ChatGTP being paid or it's free. ChatGTP is free. We have pro version of it, but it's free for everyone. Everyone is accessible to ChatGTP. Hmm? Now, um, okay, so what range of take profits would you recommend? Now, I recommend, if possible, go for 1% to 2% at most, so that you can be able to exit out of the market very fast. Do you get it? 1% to 2% is enough for you to be exit out of the market. Yes. So is there a provision of selling a trade? If you see that a trade is in profit, is in some profit, as in the sports trading, you are allowed to sell manually. Yes, it's the same thing. You can close the trade. So far as you've seen that it is in profit, so far as you've seen that it is in profit, you can choose to close the trade. Mm. So okay, let me see. Is there any hand up again? Okay, so I have two hands up. So please, you've been asked on mute, so you can ask a question. Emmanuel, you can ask your question.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Coach, for the lesson. Very, very interesting and wonderful. So do not take leverage, either shorting or longing. Now, will you set, even though the market goes against you, will you, if the market reverses, come back to the same position without you losing it?
Oh, I guess your network is not open. We are not hearing you well.
Can you,
If you can
but
come
can you hear?
again, if you can come again with your question, please.
My, my
Okay,
question,
so
hello?
hello.
My question is this. I trade at leverage and the market goes against me. Is there any like at the market reversal, my asset or my fund, and I'll get my profit?
Okay, so if I get you right, if you trade without a leverage and the market goes against you and there is price reversal, is there any way you can get your profits back? Is that what you're asking?
Yes,
Because
that's my question.
yes. So now one thing is that the answer is yes, and one thing is that when you are trading on the futures market, the fact that market goes against you doesn't mean that you are being liquidated. Just like the sports market.
Okay.
So when the market goes against you, you wait for price reversal. Okay, when market goes against you, you just wait for price reversal for the asset to reverse back for you to make your profits.
Okay.
That
Okay.
is
Thank
it. All right, you're welcome. Okay, so Monday, you've been asked on mute, so ask a question.
Yeah, Leader Emmanuel, good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you for the good work I've been doing for the community. Yeah, please, quick one. I want to ask, is there any video how we can do API binding in the future? Is there any video?
All right, yes. So you're asking if
Please,
there
can
are
I?
videos that you can get in.
Yes, how can I get the video, please?
Yeah, so it will be shared on the platform. It will be shared on the platform, so you can stay alert.
Please, because I've been searching for this video for long, so that I can buy my account.
All right. So
Please,
you'll drop
please,
it on the platform.
please do. If you can send it after the Zoom, I'll be very happy.
All right.
Or if you can send it directly to me, I'll be very happy also.
Okay, no problem. So after the meeting.
So please.
All right. So the next person, Crypto Joa. So you've been asked to unmute. Ask your question.
Thank you very much, Coach. My question is, when in which percent, in what profit do I get on my capital or on my
Please come
on my?
again. Come again. Your voice is down. Come again.
I'm saying, if I take a profit, does my profit depend on my capital or is depend on my position amount?
So does your profit depends on your capital or your position amount?
Yes.
All right. So before you go for a leverage, you have to first think about your capital first. You get it before you go for a leverage. So always in trading, there are certain factors that will contribute to your profit making. Notwithstanding, your capital is also involved in your profit making. Do you get it? Do you get me right? All right. Okay, so the next person, I'll take two more questions. Then we bring this session to an end. I'll take two more questions. Then we bring this session to an end. So Green Fronts, you've been asked on mute to ask the question.
Good evening, everybody.
All right. Good evening.
Okay. What I want to ask, in futures, I know that I do scalping in futures, and I know when we are doing scalping, we set EP and SL, that is take profit and stop loss. Is the provision for stop loss in Royalq when trading futures in Royalq, or is it just do the setting and it gives you liquidation price? Is there a feature where you can set your stop loss so that when it gets to that point, it will just quit the trade with that minimal loss that you set instead of going until liquidate everything, assuming the trade was going against you?
All right. Okay, so I think maybe in our previous session, I talked about, that was last week, I talked about why traders use stop loss. Okay, why traders use stop loss, and even not traders, while retail traders use stop loss. Over here in Royalq, we have inbuilt mitigation strategies which helps the trader to control stop loss. So there is no stop loss here, but rather inbuilt mitigation strategies, just like the margin calls, which helps to control what we call stop loss. So no stop loss. You get it? And if God permit, I think try to join our next session. I'll still go over again to why retail traders are advised to use stop loss and not institutional traders. So maybe you get it clear there. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right. Okay, so the last person, I can see two hands up. Okay, so Hassan, you've been asked on mute. Ask your question.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, I was asking, no leader Kawanda had showed us strategy, maybe it was yesterday.
Yeah.
During afternoon. Then I entered the Solana, I had to set a golden cross using MACD. So it entered past the take profit percentage, it was 1.3. The bracket, it was plus 4%. But then the robot didn't sell. So what could be the problem?
All right. So before your trade will be sold out of the market, first, when you are using MACD or any of the indicators, what you need to know is that before your trade will be triggered to even buy to sell, the condition that you've set must be met in the market. So far as your trade is in the market, it simply means that condition has not been triggered yet. Do you get it? So for your trade to be sold, your trade is supposed to be triggered based on the condition. So if the condition has not been met, your trade wouldn't be triggered to be sold out of the market.
I thought when the robot enters, when it's triggered to enter the market, I thought when it reaches the take profit, it takes the profit and it gets out of the market because it was a one shot.
But it has not been sold. Has it been sold?
No.
So it simply has not been triggered yet.
Let me help. My brother Hassan,
Yes.
I'm also trying these things, but it is a very big problem. What you do, make sure your buying callback is 0.
Oh.
Make sure your buying callback is 0 because I entered a certain coin called LPT yesterday and it went up to 60% and the thing was not selling. And I was like, hey, so, as we are mastering the art, we shall do some mistakes. So I believe you need to put your callback to 0 because you find that the take profit exceeds the percentage. I don't know if it is because of the leverage. I also wanted to ask my brother Emmanuel because it seems the profit they give you is according to your margin, USDT, not to your position USDT.
I understand.
I don't know if people have discovered that they don't pay you on your leverage. I don't know if that is true, my brother Emmanuel.
Yeah, that is clear.
Okay, I get it.
So put your buying callback to 0 so that you can maximize in real time.
Thank you, sir.
But also the other thing, my brother Hassan, always look at the liquidation price.
Okay.
Because when you look at the liquidation price, you lose the fear. I hope you have seen that.
Yeah.
You find that the liquidation price is very far.
It's very
like
far.
If you are shorting Solana, the liquidation price is at $80. You find that it is very hard for the coin to reach there. So what you do, when you see that the liquidation price is very far, what I have done, for example, I've been practicing here on the call. Let me try to show you. Just a minute. My brother Emmanuel, don't leave. Let me share.
Okay.
So I've been trying to practice and I've made $16. You see?
Yeah.
Now I'm sharing my experience because I'm still learning. Now look here. This is WYFI. Okay?
Yeah.
Now what I've discovered is that they don't pay me on the position amount. They pay me on the amount of money that I've invested in this coin. So what I will look at personally, I'll look at the liquidation price. You get this clear? So when I see that the liquidation price is very far from the current price, I will come here and manually add in more coins consistently. I don't know if you get the picture. I'll come here, tap on buy, then I tap on market price, then maybe I add in more 10 coins. Okay. And when I do this, I'm able to monitor my liquidation price as long as I'm seated on my strategy. Now, my strategy is to short the market. You never see me on longing it.
Okay.
So I'm looking for coins that are going down. I don't focus on those going up. Okay.
Okay.
Because when a coin is going up, it dips at a very high speed. People are selling, they are selling. So you are just maximizing. So you keep on checking your liquidation price, especially people who are serious with trading. So when you check your liquidation price and you see it's very far from the current price, you can invest in more money because they don't pay you on your leverage. They pay you on the amount of money that has entered that particular coin. So when you look at the liquidation price and you find it's very far from the current price, then it makes your work very easy. Then the other thing I would add on, just for learning purposes, is the use of these moving averages, okay? You remember when we talked about moving averages? When you find that these moving averages are crossing each other, this is too much confidence that this coin is on a downward movement. I don't know if that makes sense. For example, if I put this coin, let me say in 1 hour, and I press in moving averages, You find that the coin is totally on a downtrend. And if you are good with trading view, just to add on, if you are good with trading view, let me pick up my futures and put this coin W, this one. And then you bring in the moving averages. Like, you see, these are my moving averages, the 20 and the 200. You see now the confidence goes very high.
Yeah.
After the death close that this coin is generally going down, my friend, I will collect money on this coin until the coin. I don't know if you get it clear. And when I look at the price, back to the liquidation price, I see it is very far, not easy for this coin to hit this target. So this builds your confidence a little bit better, and you can short the coin until the coin loses understanding. I hope my
I understand now.
Yes, so you can be able to make a lot of money.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right. Back
All
to
right.
you, my brother Emmanuel.
Okay, so I guess that is all. Let me take the last person, then we end this session. So please, if you have any question, if God permits, we will still have our next session, and I entreat that you should all join so that you can be able to learn more. So sir, okay. So if we ask your sir, if we ask on mute, ask your question. You'll be the last person that you will take for this evening. Let me see. Okay,
Okay,
you will
so
unmute, ask your question. Yeah.
all right, so mine is not really a question, but just some little input that I want to add to what you are saying regarding the profit ratio or the profit calculation on the futures market. I'm also doing practice on this small, but what I realize is that if, for instance, if you're taking 5x leverage and then the market rise, the normal market percentage rise up to 1%, it means that your profit will be 5 times whatever amount that you have entered with. I don't know if you have observed that, because for instance, I took a trade and then the package rose to 1%, but I was on, I think, $100. My money was $100, so I did it on 5x, and so I realized that instead of getting, like, let's say, for instance, if it is 1%, I should get $1, isn't it? Normally, but I had $5 when the market rose to 1%. So I realized that it was whatever price or whatever money that you're going to get or profit that you're going to get is dependent on the leverage that you used. So if you use 5x, whatever profit and the market rises by 1%, you get times 5 of that. If it is 10 leverage that you're using, then you're going to get times 10 of the money that you used to get involved in the market. So maybe I think we have to look at this. I don't know. I
Yeah.
stand to be corrected anyway.
So what we will
Yes.
do is
So
that there are calculations to that, and I have to come back and then explain the relationship between the leverage and then the margin, so that we can be
okay.
able to get the equations right and then understand that aspect clear. Okay.
All right. Okay.
Yes.
All
Okay.
right. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So this will be the last person. Okay. So now, guys, one thing that you have to get is clear is that trade on the futures market is simple, and we can make profit on the futures market, right? We can make profit on the futures market. Just be positive and keep learning. Okay. It takes a learning heart and a learning mind to grow. So your responsibility is to ensure that you are learning. So you don't need to be negative. Be positive about what you are doing and ensure that you are feeding your mind with the necessary results or the positive information which will help you to grow. The futures market is very simple, and trust me, if you understand the futures market, you trade on the futures market to yourself, you get tired or you get stressed of trading, right? So let's simplify everything here. And with time, as we keep learning, you continue to be hosting this meeting all the time so that we can all learn and understand what happens on the futures market, right? So this way time will permit us to end this session. All right, so yeah, I will do that if God permits. In our next session, I will address the issue, the relationship between the leverage and then the margin amount, which raise the profits. So please anticipate that in our next session. I don't know. I'm sure if God permits, tomorrow same time you'll be able to meet again. So I'll have to address those parts of the lesson so that you can all understand. So if God permits, tomorrow we will still meet again. And I wish you all the best in your trading journey. If you don't understand anything, always the platforms are open. Ask your leaders, ask the platform, and then we'll help you get an answer to whatever that you are supposed to know. All right, so that is all for this evening. If God permits, we'll still meet again. I wish you all the best and have a sound sleep. All right, bye bye bye.